Did you know when you first got cast what a huge phenomenon this was going to become?
Absolutely not. I hadn't even heard of the series before I was cast, and as soon as I was cast, I did my research, found out what I'm, getting myself into, and was just blown away. It's kind of scary, but it's at the same time, it's just so exciting. I mean, it's insane. The fans behind it are amazing. There's so many of them. Everywhere you go, there's fans. So it's really cool to be a part of it, and I'm super excited for it to come out here. My favorite part of the series is the competition that goes on between the Team Edward fans and the Team Jacob fans. So that's definitely my favorite part, the competitiveness that goes on.
Well, just as a fan of the book, if you had to pick Team Jacob or Team Edward, which one would you pick?
Definitely Team Jacob. Bella...
He's a loyalist.
Yes, absolutely. Bella, she doesn't know what's best for her right now. She might figure it out later, definitely.
So what do you think fans are so attracted to Jacob for? Why do they support Team Jacob?
Edward is more intense, and things are a little more uptight because he has so much going on inside of him, and he's fighting so many things. Jacob just lets loose, and he's going guy. He's very friendly, loves people, and he's able just to have a more open relationship with Bella, just like a friend or even like a family member sometimes. So I think that's what fans like Jacob.
So where are you in the book series? Have you read all the books?
Actually, when I filmed Twilight, I just wanted to focus on Twilight because Jacob's character is so different from Twilight to the rest of the series. So I read Twilight, and that's it, before doing the movie. And when I finished, I came back and started the rest of the series. And now I'm just focusing on New Moon.
Talk to us a little bit about the set, being on the set. You guys definitely had a lot of weather to contend with, filming outside of Portland.
Definitely weather was a bit of an issue.
Did you get caught in some of those storms?
Absolutely. The beach scene between Jacob and Bella, where he's just supposed to be walking his wannabe girlfriend on the beach. It's supposed to be a nice, relaxing walk. Wardrobe had just like, I think it was jeans and a t-shirt picked out for us to wear. And then we got there, and there was 40-mile-per-hour winds, sleet, hail, pouring rain, and it was freezing. The tide was coming up to our knees. So we ended up wearing like 3 pairs of jeans, tons of socks, rain boots, ponchos with beanies and hoods and gloves. So it was a lot different than expected.
Right.
I always tell everyone it's my least favorite scene that I did, and also my favorite because it's just there's so much to remember about it. After each shot, we'd all huddle in this little tent, and they'd have a heater for us because just for that 20 seconds while we're out there filming, we just get so cold and numb. We'd all just huddle in the little tent and just warm ourselves before the next shot.
Breaking Dawn, being the 4th book, and your character takes quite a turn in that book. I know you haven't read it yet, but you've learned a lot about it. What are your thoughts on the progression of Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, at first it was a little surprising. It was like, Jacob's going for Bella throughout the series, and all of a sudden he ends up with Bella's daughter. Hey! So it was a little surprising at first, but I mean, the series is fantastic, and just everything worked out great.
Did you get a chance to meet Stephanie Meyer?
Yeah, I did. Stephanie's awesome. She had her family up there with her, and her kids are hilarious, and yeah, she's a very nice lady. I got to see her up on set at Comic-Con and some other publicity things, so she's very cool.
Here's a reader question. If you had creative license, how would you have altered the Twilight storyline?
In Breaking Dawn, everything would have gone the same for the first, the second, and the third, but Bella would have ended up with the real man, Jacob. Jacob.
All right, again, said like a true Team Jacob loyalist. Rob talked a lot about searching with Edward to dig deeper into his character. Did you ever find that there were times with Jacob that you felt yourself doing that?
When I got up to Portland, I had a meeting with some Quileute tribal members, some real Quileute Indians.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they came down to Portland, and I got to talk with them, and I did research on the internet and made a whole binder before I went up to Portland and just researched some of their legends. And then when I got to meet with them, it was really cool. I got to ask them about their legends. And the biggest thing that I learned about them is that they're really just like me. I mean, their hobbies are what this kid says. I said, so what do you like to do in your free time? And he's like, well, I like playing basketball. I go to the beach. I go, oh, what do you do at the beach? Play football? No, I check out girls. I was like, oh. Yeah, they were funny. They were really cool kids. So I got to know a lot about them, and it was cool.
And a lot of fans wanted to know what your nationality is.
I am French, Dutch, and German. Yes, I get my skin coloring from my mom's French side.
All right.
Yes.
So Jacob plays a huge part in New Moon as far as the next project goes. He also transforms into a very large person. Are you on board for that? Has there been talk about how that transformation will take place? Can you give us any kind of update?
There hasn't been any talk about New Moon at all. Catherine and Summit want to focus on Twilight while Twilight is about ready to come out, and I'm sure they'll start thinking about that after. But the transformation, I think that'd be a good question for Catherine Hardwicke. She has crazy stuff going up in her mind all the time.
Right. And so here's a question from a reader in the Philippines on the subject of transformation.
Okay.
If there was one thing you could eat a whole lot of, what would that be, and how much of it would you consume?
My favorite food is steak, and I feel like I could eat a steak all the time. I love meat. My dad just made this really good teriyaki chicken the other night, so I love steak and chicken meat, and I think I could have it quite a bit. Maybe I'd get sick of it, but
that's very appropriate for a future werewolf.
Yeah.
How did you get started in your acting career?
I had a friend that was in the business, and I'd come out here to do stuff with him, and he kind of just got me involved with an agent, and I just kind of went from there. I fell in love with acting and just becoming another person. That's the coolest part, is just being someone that you're totally not. And at that time I lived in Michigan, and we decided for my whole family to move out to LA.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a big move.
That's a big move.
Very, very glad we did it.
And you also have a background in martial arts, is that correct?
Yes, I did martial arts from when I was about 6 until 13, and that was my karate instructor that lived out here in LA. And when I would come out to train with him, I'd go out on auditions at the same time, and it kind of I started liking acting more than martial arts, so I switched to acting, and I still try and keep up with my martial arts. When I'm not busy, I go down to my karate instructor, Mike Chat. He has an XMA headquarters in North Hollywood, so I go down there and kick off some rust when I can.
A lot of fans wanted to know about your other work, specifically on My Own Worst Enemy. Does your role in the show get bigger throughout the season?
Well, the thing with TV is you don't even know what is going to happen, because you get the script about 3 days before you start filming the episode. So you don't know the exact future of the show, but the coolest part with my character is he has the genetic makeup of Christian Slater's Edward side, which is the super spy, the really action and dark side. So it's really cool to have the genetic makeup of that side. So we'll see. We've played with that a little bit, so you'll have to tune in and watch some upcoming episodes to see what happens.
And what's been the most surprising fan reaction that you've received?
I'd have to say I guess somebody forwarded me a link to this site where they're selling women's underwear with my name written on it. It says Team Taylor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Not Team Jacob.
Right.
Team Taylor.
Team Taylor on the women's underwear being sold. And they sent me this email and was like, "What is this?" I was like, "I don't know."